I went to Spiti in the winter of 2025. It was my first trip to the Himalayas. I'd gone there looking for the snow leopard. Little did I know back then that this landscape held so much more, even in the dead of winter. I saw foxes, ibex, blue sheep, and wolves. And yes, the snow leopard too.
So good morning, today is day 6. We had a great day yesterday until our car abruptly broke down and we had to call it an end. But before that we photographed blue sheep, before that we spent the morning session photographing ibex, and before that we woke up to the sweet news of RCB beating KKR in the first match of the IPL, so yay, hashtag Isala and all of that. Today we headed to Langza. We've been told of a horse carcass that's there, and in any place, and especially in a place like this, a carcass is going to attract a lot of visitors. We're hoping that if we get lucky, we'll be able to find wolves, vultures, and we're also told that red foxes can be seen there every now and then. So we're going to try our luck there while we keep our ears open for any news of the snow leopard.
We got to the carcass in Langza in good time, but saw the one thing we didn't want to see near it: feral dogs. After chasing the dogs away, Sonam, our guide, was confident that something would show up. And sure enough, a small canid appeared in the distance. That speck in the snow turned out to be a red fox, a huge lifer for me. The fox seemed to know exactly where he was headed. He walked right towards us. And went precisely to the spot in the carcass where he may have left off before. I was wondering how much of this large carcass such a tiny fox might be able to feed on. It turned out the cunning fellow wasn't feeding on it at all. He may have had his fill earlier in the day, but was now only chopping up bite-sized pieces of this large carcass and stashing them in secret places in the snow. He chopped one piece up, ran far away into the plain, stash it somewhere, and immediately be back for more. This happened for a while. He even stashed some pieces of meat just around the carcass. I think greed eventually got the better of him, and he carved out a chunk that he could barely carry. He sauntered through the snow for a bit and then he scooted. We heard the reason before we saw it. Feral dogs and wildlife are not a happy coexistence. Dogs can hunt down and kill foxes or spread diseases that could wipe out entire wild canid populations. But unfortunately for this fox, they found his stash. Spoiler alert, this isn't the last time we saw feral dogs on this trip, and this isn't the last time they'll feature in this video.
We had a really good morning session. First time I saw a red fox, and what a way to see it. We saw some really interesting behavior in which the fox was stashing small bits of meat from the horse's carcass and stashing it everywhere around the snow. And just as soon as we got done with lunch, we heard news of a leopard being sighted in Khyber, so we're driving back up. Hopefully we'll get there in time and the leopard will still be around. Fingers crossed for now.
So off we went and set ourselves up at the edge of a cliff. The snow leopard was on the other side, hidden as always. If it wasn't for spotters, none of us tourists would be able to spot a snow leopard on the rock face. They are so well camouflaged. My earlier video from Spiti is about a rare and fascinating interaction between three snow leopards. I've spoken about the difficulty in spotting in that, along with what a sighting entails, and some up-close snow leopard footage. Do check that out for more snow leopards. When we'd almost given up, the snow leopard got up and walked up the cliff. Effortlessly scaling the vertical rock face, scent marking and playing along the way. He then went into a cave and much later emerged on top of the snow. This is how I imagined a snow leopard sighting would be before coming here.
So it's about 6 now, and we're going to start trekking our long way back up now. It's almost a kilometer away, and we'll probably get back here tomorrow morning and see if the leopard's still around and if it's up to something. Hopefully it'll be closer, still very far away. And calling it a day. Been a great day so far. Started with the fox, ending with the snow leopard. Couldn't have asked for more. So today is day 7 of our trip. Again, I don't know if it's a Monday or a Friday, or if it's March or if it's April, or what year it is, but it is day 7, and including today, we have 3 more days left. Yesterday was also really good. I had my first sighting of the red fox of this region, and what a sighting it was. And in the evening, we saw snow leopard. So, are we happy? Yes. Are we satisfied? No, because I don't think we'd be wildlife photographers if we weren't greedy. So we're back at Chicham Bridge again today, hoping to find the snow leopard which we saw in this approximate region yesterday evening. And while we're doing that, we're photographing ibexes on one side and blue sheep on the other, while we wait for news on the snow leopard. There's a large herd of male ibexes in all sorts of class categories ranging from 1 to 4, and we're hoping that they'll come up the road in a bit so that we can get some good shots of them. There's another female herd on top, and we believe that in some time they'll be able to move on top as well, where it makes for better shots. So waiting for the ibexes to move up.
The Himalayan Ibex have made a home of these steep, rocky slopes. Their hooves are concave and help them grip uneven rock surfaces. A dense winter coat keeps them warm in sub-zero temperatures and wind. In winter, they feed on dry alpine grasses and plants that stay exposed on wind-blown or south-facing slopes. They can also dig through snow to reach buried vegetation. Males are grouped into 4 classes based on horn size and ridges. Classes 1 and 2 are younger males with shorter, less curved horns. Class 3 males have 8 to 9 horn ridges. Class 4 males are the oldest, with horns over 64 centimeters and more than 10 ridges. We were watching a large male herd that was waiting to climb up. That is when a fluffy villain played spoilsport. The Chicham Bridge is a popular tourist spot with tea stalls and small eateries. And where there are people and food, there are dogs. Just as the ibex were climbing up the hill, this fellow strolled in that direction, and the ibex scooted. We saw dogs everywhere in Spiti. Even in the remote and untouched parts of this place that is already remote, there were dogs. A 2017 study in the Himalayan region found that free-ranging dogs are now the largest terrestrial carnivore here. They cause more livestock deaths than wolves and snow leopards, and when they get a chance, they attack ibex and blue sheep too. I think I also saw why dogs thrive here. The abundance of garbage dumps and our inability to manage it any better. Heaps of garbage and heaps of dogs around them. Some dogs had a tagged ear, indicating that they had been sterilized and vaccinated. One way in which this issue is currently being managed. But not all dogs had tags. I love dogs, but I also understand the impact free-ranging dogs have on a wildlife habitat such as this. And while I love traveling, I understand the impact of tourism on garbage that contributes to a growing population of dogs. I wish I had more solutions and not just an opinion. The blue sheep on the other side of the hill did not seem as bothered by the dog. They kept their distance but continued grazing. The blue sheep, or bharal, live on the high slopes and cliffs of this landscape. They are neither true sheep nor true goats, but have features of both, an intrigue that led George Schaller to the Himalayas. He spoke of them as a possible link between wild sheep and goats. Males and females look similar, though males have heavier, backward curving horns. They feed on alpine grasses and small plants. They sometimes use their hooves to scrape at the snow and reach buried vegetation. They tend to be active through the day. Blue sheep are fairly common here, and the slopes around the Cheecham Bridge are one of the best places to see and photograph them. Apart from blue sheep, ibex and foxes, we also came across a pair of Himalayan wolves one afternoon. They were about 2 kilometers away, just silhouettes through our lenses. But in that cold and at that distance, we got a sense of how elusive wolves can be. This entire trip was possible thanks to the team at Spiti United. Without them, I wouldn't last a day here. My next video is exactly about that. What a day in Spiti looks like. Where we stayed, what we ate, and how we went about photographing wildlife here. Stay tuned.